my camera.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
And how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm also doing great. And first of all, thank you for accepting my request and for communicating with me. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, uh, sir, this is our first meeting. So will you please introduce yourself?
Of course. So my name is Jack, and I am an English teacher. I teach at a university here in South Korea. I am an associate professor. Um, I'm from the United States, but I moved to Korea about 22 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you for introducing yourself, sir. And let me introduce myself also. My
Sure.
name is Saraswati, and I am from India and in Mumbai. I am from Mumbai now. I'm
Nice. Excellent.
my education is I am BA B.Ed, a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Education. As well, I also completed web designing and worked for 15 years in Mumbai. Um,
Wow.
yeah, but
That,
now I am a full-time homemaker as well as running my YouTube channel also. Yeah, that's all about me.
oh, that's great. So you have a Bachelor of Education, but also you're a web designer. You do many different things. You're very talented.
Yes, sir.
My education degree, I have a Bachelor's of Arts in
Okay.
Communications, and I have a master's degree in education.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my Bachelor of Arts, my subject was English literature.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Do you have a favorite writer, a favorite author?
Yeah, my favorite author is William Shakespeare.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You go to the source. Yeah. The most famous. Yeah.
But I completed my graduation long year before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that's fantastic. I mean, do you find reading Shakespeare difficult? Because the English is kind of old English. It's not modern English.
Actually, in my BA, means, when I was completed my BA degree, so I read many of the means plays and many of the poems and also drama also of Shakespeare drama. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's great. I love Shakespeare too. We studied it in high school, and I think there are so many good movies out there. Movies about Shakespeare plays, and it's timeless.
Yes.
The stories they will last forever, I think.
Yeah. Most of the famous plays like Macbeth, Julius Caesar. Yeah.
Exactly, Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet, and yeah, they're amazing, amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And so, what is the goal of your YouTube channel? Are you trying to educate students about English, or just have conversations that the viewers can watch and listen to?
Actually, sir, as I told, I completed my graduation. My subject was English literature, but at that time I was not able to speak English language because in that time, even in English subject means class, our professor used to explain everything in Hindi only.
Right. This is, I've talked to a lot of YouTubers in India, and everybody says the same thing. They
Yeah,
say they have an English education, but all of the explanation and the grammar and things were taught in Hindi, not in the native language of English, but in the student's native language, which I think is
yeah,
um, it doesn't help when it comes to speaking and communicating. It
yeah.
gives you a theoretical understanding of the language, but not a practical understanding of the language, and the practical is more important than the theoretical, in my opinion.
Yeah, you are correct because after completing my graduation, I come to Mumbai and got admission in B.Ed college. And they give provide lecture in three languages like Hindi, English, and Marathi. But my subject was English, so I faced a lot of difficulties there.
Sure, sure.
Even I want to complete my MA degree, Masters of Art, but at that time I was not able to speak this language, and because of this reason, I didn't get admission in MA college. MA.
I see, I see. Well, how did you? Your English is amazing. You're an excellent English speaker. How did you? What's your secret?
Actually, sir, I started to speak this language only 3 months ago. I have started.
Wow, that's amazing. 3 months ago.
Yeah,
My goodness. Okay.
and before that, after a long gap, I again touch with study and English stuff. When I started to teach my daughter, so I, stuck with English things. So I think that it is very helpful for me when I read her books.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you understand the flaw in the educational system where the teachers only teach grammar and they teach it in Hindi. There's something, a big part is missing,
Yeah,
and that is the holistic approach, right? The communicative approach where you are actually having conversations with people, you're using the language creatively, you're making sentences, trying to understand the other person. Um, this is what language is really about.
yeah,
And it's nothing that you can learn necessarily in a book. It's something that you have to do you have to do it in order
yeah,
to master it. And a lot of people get stuck with the grammar and they quit. They're scared to speak and afraid that people will, laugh at them or they might embarrass themselves or something like that. And you really have to overcome that hurdle, that obstacle, in order to make progress as an English speaker. To become bilingual and to become fluent
yeah.
requires making mistakes, which is fine, you know?
I also, thought before starting my journey, I thought I should start or not. If people will laugh, so what I will do? I had also the same mindset. So, but after 2 3 days, because of that, I am not able to sleep. Should I start my journey or not? But finally, I decide no, I will start my journey.
Good for you. I mean, you made the right decision because I can tell just by your enthusiasm and your hard work at making a YouTube channel, which, having a YouTube channel is a lot of work. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time and energy, but you seem to be very passionate about English. And I can just tell that you really enjoy having conversations with people in English, and I just applaud you for your effort because I mean 3 months, that's amazing. You must have made so much progress in a short time, and it's because you decided to take a risk, and have a conversation with someone. And yeah, that's great. I really like that.
Yeah, actually, when I started my channel, YouTube channel, I only upload short videos. Some of the grammar portion I upload. But after that, I realized that no, it's not enough. If I really want to learn this language and want to speak with other person, so I will have to open my mouth in front of anyone.
Right.
Whether I do a lot of mistakes, I should not bother about my mistakes.
Absolutely not. I mean, right now you and I are having a perfectly um, understandable conversation or comprehensible conversation. I understand everything that you're saying. You understand everything I'm saying. We're communicating on a high level, and it may not be perfect. I probably make mistakes sometimes. You know, we native speakers misspeak. We say the wrong thing, or but that's normal. That's, language is messy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not clean. It's not like a book, where everything is perfect. A real conversation is very messy, untidy, and as it should be. And so I think really like traditional teachers, they think that you should learn English by reading the dictionary, just page one, A, B, C, and memorize the dictionary, and then you can speak English. Language does not work like that. That is not how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I before 3 months ago, I also have lot of words and vocabs, and even I also know little bit grammar also. But I have never tried to speak this language because I can say like there was not such environment where I can communicate with person. But for I think for learn this language and for speak this language, practice and consistency is very important.
Yeah, and I think YouTube has made a big difference too, because, well, not just YouTube, but technology. Now we have Skype, and we have Zoom, and we have Google Meets, and we have YouTube, and
Yeah,
it just everything kind of exploded. Everything's open now, where
yeah,
we have access to other people,
yes,
and so now we can have you and I. You're in Mumbai, I am in South Korea, and we can have a conversation together like we're in the same room.
yeah,
And it's amazing, the technology, and I just wish more people would use it, because it's an amazing tool. It's just really connected everybody in a way that we've never been connected before.
yeah.
And yeah.
Even after before connecting you, I had little bit fear and I also hesitate. But after connecting you, I think you made me feel comfortable. Now I am very comfortable to talk with you, and I think this is enough. If I feel comfortable, so and I means if I am able to convey my thoughts and you are understand what I am telling, what I want to say, so this is enough for the beginner level.
I agree 100%. I teach in South Korea, and I think maybe, the Korean education system and Indian education system is similar, where there's a lot of teaching for the test. Students study and take a grammar test, and everything is grammar, grammar, grammar.
Yeah,
Um, and education is very, very important in India, for your future, how you perform. And in Korea, it's also that way. And so when students come to university, their their mindset is like, I have to perform perfectly every time. And I try to break that down and say, no, 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 you don't need to be perfect. Let's just try to have a communication and try to express our ideas
yeah,
and communicate ideas. And if I can understand you, then that's successful. Well, some students might say something like, I don't know. I was go to the store. And
mhm,
then I say to the student, "Oh, you went to the store?" Because the correct sentence would be, "I went to the store." But I
yeah,
don't have to stop the student and correct them. I can just repeat the correct sentence, and they can listen, and then we can continue the conversation. But
yeah,
some instructors, every time the student makes a mistake, they stop. No, you are wrong. You have to say this. I think that's a really negative way
mm,
to instruct. I think a better way is to try to keep the conversation going, because even if a student says, I was go to the store, I understand. That
yeah,
means I went to the store. So being perfect is not necessarily the most important thing. It's whether I understand what you're saying. And so if I can understand you, then that's okay. Later, as you grow as an English speaker, you get better and improve, you'll start to fix the little mistakes will go away. And that's the growth of a language learner. And yeah, I just I like what you're doing with your channel because I think you're helping a lot of people. You really are.
Yeah, I try my best because I have the thought, because I faced a lot of difficulties, because I am not able to speak this language. Because of this reason, I even did not got many of jobs because of this reason only. So I know the importance of English.
Right.
So whatever knowledge I have, I want to share with people.
Yes, I think that's a very altruistic approach to your YouTube channel because it's not just about entertainment, it's about actually learning something, improving, using English, and you're helping people maybe get a job in the
Yeah.
future. So it's really important work.
Even in this way, I also stuck with English stuff every day.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how does English like affect your life? Like other than your YouTube channel, where do you use English in other parts of your life?
Actually, sir, I am from Hindi medium student. In my school time, English was only as a subject, and in my Bachelor of Arts, English was only as a subject, and the same in BA degree, English was as a subject. And after a long gap, I had no connection with English language.
Right.
And when my daughter came in my life, and when I started to teach her from her childhood, so I was only my favorite subject was English. So because of that, that curiosity again came in my no, I should work on this, and started my YouTube channel, and upload some grammar portion. In this way, uh, means that video will help you, my daughter in future, as well as other person also.
Yes, yes, that's great. And what do you do? Like, do you read books with your daughter? How old is your daughter? Is she young?
So, yeah, she is 11-year-old now. She is in
Okay.
fifth.
I have a 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah, actually, I know about your daughter because of some of your videos. You told that your daughter is 11-year-old and now she is in America, correct?
Yeah, she's 15 and she lives in America. Yeah, she's a high school student and she lives in America. She's a dancer.
Yeah.
Um, but I never really taught her English specifically. It was more just talking with her. I just tried to speak with her in English, and so she had to use English to communicate with me. But I
Mm.
think if you like read books with your daughter or any sort of interaction with English is really positive, and I think you're doing it the right way. You
Yeah,
know?
because from her childhood I teach and I go through all her subjects, like every subject. So in this way, I improve myself as well as I also teach my daughter.
I love this expression, but I always say when one teaches, two learn.
Yes.
So I think that's a really true statement. And I'm always learning too. There are times where, well, we have I can advertise this a little bit. I teach. We have a World English WhatsApp group.
Mhm.
It's called World English. And in that group, students from all over the world will join on Google Meets. And we have conversations almost every evening. We have maybe 6 classes a week.
Okay.
Actually, more like 10 classes a week, actually, mornings and evenings. And students come in and we just have conversations about a topic.
Okay.
And so I don't even teach anything. I just join the group and they can ask me questions, and I talk with them. And there's no actual coursework. It's just a place where people can get together and they can communicate and talk to each other. And I'm also a host of a podcast. I have a podcast called the A to Z English Podcast. And so I talk with native speakers, I talk with non native speakers. And so students can listen to the podcast and they can listen to English and just kind of learn new vocabulary by listening, not by studying in a book, but just by listening and hearing English. And I think these are really good strategies for improving your English ability.
And I think I have, sir, you have also another channel?
We do. I do. We have another channel called English Word Master, and English Word Master is a YouTube channel with videos, and it gives new vocabulary, and there are stories, and so there's lots of interesting material on our YouTube channel as well. So we have a Google Meets class, a WhatsApp group. I have a podcast and a website, or sorry, YouTube channel. And so, yeah, yeah. But my main job is teaching at a university, but my other job is podcasting. That's my real passion. I love making the podcast, and I love helping students learn English. So it's kind of like you're more of a YouTuber. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I consider myself a podcaster.
Okay. Actually, morning I visited your both of the channels. I did not watch all your videos. After 1 or 2 days later, definitely I watch your full all videos, because it will be helpful for me as well as my daughter also.
I think so. I think so. They're very interesting conversations, and we really talk about interesting topics. And so we try. It's not just language learning. It's also learning about the world, learning about other cultures. It's a really fun. I think it's a really fun podcast to listen to, and it's not like a class. It's more like listening to a conversation. And
Yeah,
so I like that style.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, I will visit and watch your podcast and videos also. It will be
Thank
very,
you.
yeah. Even if I want to connect with you in future, so will you connect with me again?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Anytime that you would like to, I would come back on your channel anytime, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for accepting this, because I am very eager to talk with you, because sir, I am very passionate for this language. Not now, from now, when I was in 10th standard. That time, I want to speak this language, but because of there was not environment, though there was no any people to whom I can communicate. Because of that, that desire. Now I am fulfilling this desire.
Yes, I love this network of Indian YouTubers that I have. I've made friends with lots of different Indian YouTubers,
Yeah,
India and Pakistan, and people like you, YouTubers, reach out to me and ask to have a conversation, and so I always say yes. Come on to the channel because I just like meeting new people. I want more people to. Um, to hear about the podcast and to listen and try to help them improve their English. So it's a really good way for me to connect with other people through meeting interesting people like yourself and other YouTubers.
even actually I got to know about yourself. One Pakistani girl, that name is Fatiha. She is 9-year-old girl.
Oh yes, that's right. I was. It's a funny story because I didn't know she was so young. I didn't realize she was a child.
Uh,
Elementary student. So she reached out to me, and then, but she was so smart, and she had such good questions, and so she was very bright and very intelligent. So we had a really interesting conversation and a fun conversation, and it's great to see young people excited about learning English.
Yeah, actually, she also approached me, and she also have want to communicate with me, but because of some reason she is not able to. So I asked her about you. So she told me this link.
Oh, great. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, it's all about connecting through other people. One person knows another person, and another person. And I've talked to so many YouTubers now. It's really exciting. It's so fun, and I keep learning more about Indian culture and Pakistan culture, and it just seems like a beautiful country with such a rich culture,
Yeah,
and it's on my bucket list of places to visit someday.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you should visit India.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. Yeah.
So, sir, I have one question for you, because I want to know what is the education system in America?
The education system in America is it's a very different it's hard to explain it. I think there are, we have good schools and we have bad schools, Some,
Mm.
if you live in a good area, you might have a better school that has more, it's more better funded.
Okay.
Other schools have less money, and so they're not as good as other schools.
Mm.
The philosophy of education, I think, is changing. Sometimes there are periods where it's very much about what we were talking about, communicating ideas and the holistic learning approach. And then other times they're more into teaching for the test and making sure students are passing the exams. And so it's a different, it's an interesting place. I would say it's not as difficult to graduate from an American high school than it's more difficult in other countries like India and Korea. High school is much harder, much more
Yeah.
demanding. And in America, it's more relaxed. I would say that's the big difference.
Okay, because I think many of the Indians want to go for America for higher education, even for
For
job.
higher education is different. Yeah, when it high school is easy, university is very hard. It's very challenging. So a lot of students in high school they perform well. When they go to college or university, they find it very difficult and very demanding. And so it's kind of it's definitely a level up when you go to university. And we have some of the best universities, best institutions in the world. Obviously, the Ivy League schools, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, MIT. Those are famous schools that are well known by everybody. But yes, I think the American higher education system, it's very expensive.
Yeah,
Um, and so it's cost prohibitive for a lot of people. But I think there are some very wonderful institutions where
yeah,
students are challenged really well. They have to think, they have to really work hard to be successful there.
yeah. Because many of my relatives of my husband are you means they are living there,
Oh, excellent. That's great. Where in America? Which state?
New York City.
Oh, New York City. Oh, wow, fantastic. I went to New York last January. I
Oh,
visited with my wife, and
yeah,
we loved it. Yeah, the great pizza.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. And I think we should wind up this session. And now Christmas is coming very soon. So Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Yes. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you so much. It was a
Thank
pleasure talking to you today.
Yeah, thank you. Even I also enjoyed having a conversation with you, and I expect we will again meet very soon. If you have,
Absolutely. Yes. Let's have another conversation soon. Okay. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
thank you, sir.